Check it out, guys! We have done it! We have finally updated the world! I completely skipped 1.15 and we are on 1.16 and it's been completely seamless! Except that I got my first death in over a year and my item sort of melted. But let's not dwell on the negatives. Let's have a look at some of the positive things I've been doing around here. So we are over in the Japanese area, and one problem I've noticed with this area, I tend to just come in here and drop a building in and then run away, and I don't really do any landscaping, and this place was starting to look a little bit terrible. It's just houses plonked in the countryside, so I've gone and done a little bit of work here. I'm not actually planning to build much right now, just focusing on the landscaping. So I've extended my little bank around the water, which is mostly just to keep the pillagers away. This place is a pillager hotspot. But yeah, I've noticed now that the pillagers aren't really spawning that much. I haven't seen any since I updated. And I think that might have been a feature of 1.15 actually, because 1.14, they were everywhere. It was constant. You can see them in all my time lapses. Constantly bothering me. But anyway, I've come along here and I've just opened up a nice big area. Like I said, no plans for building anything up here just yet, but yeah, I wanted to make this place a little bit easier to move around. We've got a castle here, so we need to start building a nice big city. And I've started using some of the new blocks, and have a look at some of the other creators you watch. One thing I've noticed, whenever there's an update and there are new blocks, they immediately go out and they build a new building and they basically try and use all the new blocks, and it just kind of looks weird. You'll have a whole world with all the old stuff, and then here's one building with it's all new stuff, and it looks a little bit weird. So I'm trying to just use it sparingly for the time being. So I've just scattered a few. I think that Basalt is my favourite block at the moment. It is great for mixing in with stone. So, and I'm building with lodestones. Yeah, that's just how we roll on this channel. Ooh, and the other cool thing, I don't know if you noticed it in the time lapse, but I have finally replaced all my cherry blossom trees to the way that I build them now, and I did try and record this in the time lapse, but these are so hard to build in survival, it looked like a mess, so I gave up, and I'm just showing you the finished product, but yes, they look so much better. And this little area over here is not actually looking the way I intended it to, so you're probably wondering in that little time lapse in the beginning, what is he up to? I was up to, oh no. Oh, come on, fly, will you? Well, I was up to I was up to my ears in a broken shovel, and I'd completely run out of dirt. So during that time lapse, I couldn't actually get this thing finished the way I wanted. But basically, I'm trying to terraform this hill into some terraced rice fields. I know that's more of a South Asian thing than a Japanese thing. But I have seen photos of them in Japan, but yeah, I really mucked that up. That's all looking terrible. But we'll get back to this later on in the episode. I'll come in here and yeah, we're gonna attempt some rice fields. You got to feed all the people here. But yeah, I think that's about all I've done. Oh, I did a cool custom tree down here. This one I basically copied from my hanging gardens. My hanging gardens time lapse. It was one of my favourite trees in there. I've just changed it to a willow tree. I think I did the original one out of birch, but that is looking pretty cool. I've got to do a bunch more of these in this world. But yeah, that's about all I've done here. We should get back to base, and we can go over the terrible, terrible things that happened. My death and my storage system dying on me. I'm kind of glad that this is not a brand new world. I kind of like having the old Nether all around my Nether hub here. The new Nether, I'm not the hugest fan. I mean, I know there's a lot more cool things to do, but I hate the idea of having to put on gold armor like at least one piece of gold armor every time you enter the Nether. It is just a pain. Ooh, while we're here, this is a new addition to get my basalt. I've put in a little farm, so you have to pour the lava onto the soul soil with some ice next to it, and you get the basalt right here. So I built this one in the Nether just because lava moves a lot quicker here, so I thought the farm would be faster, but it doesn't seem to be. And I've actually got 3 layers of lava. Here, you saw there I lagged out a bit, so I could break the basalt behind it rather than just having one stream of lava. I've got 3 in a row, and yeah, it's going pretty cool. So I've just got hopper minecarts buried in the soul soil down below, so everything comes down here. I actually wonder, I've got a speed beacon here in the Nether. I wonder if I put it on haste, will that work faster? And if you're going to do anything, you might as well go all out with it, guys. I kind of want to bring 2 more beacons in here, but that is all I had at the moment. Let's go back and test this thing out. Alright, is there any change? Oh yes, I don't think 3 lava is enough. We need a few more. So not long after updating, I was unloading some shulker boxes in my shulker box unloader, and the shulker box never came out the other side. So I snooped around, I started looking through chests, and it didn't take very long before I found a few chests full of all different kinds of items. This thing had soiled itself. I've never done a tutorial for this item sorter because most of the elements in it are not my creation, but I did do a showcase video a while ago and I had this world download, so it's quite possible that some of you have built this thing and now you've updated and it's not working and you're not sure why. Well, I figured it out, and luckily it's not a change with the redstone. It still works. It's just during the update, these hoppers just stop working. They get locked, and you basically need to break the 2 hoppers, or break the 2 droppers and the hopper in the middle, and then replace them. So you need to do it on all 3 levels here on both sides. And that fixes it, but the problem is as soon as you break them, all the items in your item sorter here filter into the chests, and yeah, it's just a few hours work of getting it working again, but that's all you do, just in case anyone has built this. That is how you fix it, so it wasn't too much of a problem in the end. You know, with all the cool things in the base, I think this one, my Kramer vending machine, is the favourite. Throw an item down on the ground and you get your mushroom stew, and Kramer slides in, you can have a little feed, throw it back, get your item back. I might do a tutorial for that one day. It's the simplest bit of dodgy redstone that I did, but it is so cool. But anyway guys, what else happened? Oh yes, I got myself killed. I decided to go to a Bastion and have a look around, and I wanted to mine some of that cool the cool gold in the I must have it somewhere here. I don't know the names of anything yet. This stuff, the gilded blackstone. I wanted to mine some of that. So I'm in the Bastion. I sealed everything off so the baddies couldn't get to me, and then I mined a bit of it, and there was a tiny little hole in the ceiling that about 6 guys dropped down through. And I was wearing dodgy gold armor and elytra, and they ended me. And that was bad because this is god armor. Look at all that. Protection 4, fire protection 4. This is left over from a long time ago, and those guys were wearing it. So I had to rush back here and armor up again, and I quickly realized I am not set up for a death. It's been so long, like, if I have spare bows, like proper bows, if I have them, I have no idea where they are. I thought I had a bunch of them, but yeah, I wasn't ready. And you would know about my vault. That is where I keep all my backup armor. I've got tons of it, but I have discovered another problem. So this is a chorus fruit door. You eat the chorus fruit, and hopefully teleport through there. This is not working anymore because of this passage that I built below. It is just too close. I haven't been in there since I dug this out, so pretty much every time I try and use that, I end up here. So what I have had to do is just mine my way through the door. Oh, this room, by the way, pretty big room. It is completely encased in obsidian. I've got obsidian all around it to keep everything nice and safe, because here is all my super cool armor. And yeah, I had to raid that guy to go back and get my god armor off those nasty piglins. So yeah, this whole setup isn't working. You know, it might be another year before my next death, but we have to sort something out a little bit easier. I think I need a fast equip station. So everyone already knows about those sort of things. You walk into a little thingo, you step on a pressure plate, and a bunch of dispensers, put all your armor on, and you are ready to go. But I want mine to be not necessarily more advanced, like it's still going to be simple. I'll just have a few dispensers, but I want everything that I could possibly need right there, like a stack of food, a bunch of arrows, rockets, elytra, golden apples, everything I would need if I was running back into a terrible situation. I think I need 2 of them, and there's not much room up in the top sections of the base. So I think we will put it down here, and I'm sort of thinking about putting it all the way up on this end. So maybe right here, I'm not quite sure. Ooh, that reminds me, I think last time we talked I hadn't finished this room, but this is all done, and unfortunately it's probably the worst time to come here. Oh no, there we go, some lights came on. That means, if you look at my clock there in my hotbar, the sun is just rising. I've got a daylight sensor outside. It's actually in the river, so it's underwater. It's sort of hidden away. And at night time, this room is completely dark to make it more realistic, like a camping scenario. As the sun rises, the lights in the corners come on, and then as the sun gets higher in the sky, there we go. Well, the lights come on. That was the absolute perfect time to enter this room. That's cool. But yeah, I think I made this room the tiniest bit too big. So we are going to need to put something in the middle. The obvious thing to do would be a big campfire. But because each of these little Celtic huts has fires in it, I don't know if that would be overkill. But yeah, this is certainly a super cool room. I think it is completely spawn-proof. Although when I planted these sweet berry bushes, when they were little babies, I had a skeleton spawn here. So hopefully, I haven't had anything since they've grown up. But yeah, guys, this is the cool camping room of the underground bunker. But yeah, it needs a little bit more work. But it kind of looks pretty cool. And I'm trying to think what else I've done in this place since last time. So I cleaned up this room. I finally put this other wall in to sort of make it look like we are outside and not in a nuclear bunker. And yeah, I think that's about all I've done. Although I've started digging out a great big room here for the mess hall, but yeah, nothing done there as yet. And I don't know if I'll get onto it this episode. I kind of want to get back to the Japanese area and finish off those rice fields. But before we do, I am going to set up some fast equip stations. So just in case I die again in hopefully 1 or 2 years' time. I'm not in a hurry to die. But yeah, we will be prepared. So many hours later, I've finally enchanted all the gear. And we've got our armor equipper in place. Now, I've put it behind some iron doors just because you never know, I might get a mob spawn in here, and the last thing I want him doing is running onto the pressure plate there. But let's get all my gear off, and I will show you how this works. So I've got 2 of them. You never know, I might die fighting a wither and armor up and run back and die again. So we've got a backup system here. But basically, run onto the pressure plate, and you can see I've got a bow and a pick, just in case. You always need a pick, so I've given myself a pick, and we've got our full diamond armor with elytra. Now, just in front of us, we have a chest. So, depending on what I'm fighting, I can either take a Smite 5 sword or a Sharpness 5, and I can take a breastplate as well if I want that. We've got rockets, we've got a bed, and then I've basically just put all the things I tend to carry around with me most of the time, and a few extra things, so like arrows, food, golden apples, fire resistance. I might need some blocks for something or other, and, just a few other goodies. Yes, I have a clock in there. And designs for these armor equippers are a dime a dozen, but I thought I'd show you mine. I've done it in a little bit of an interesting way. I've used rail and observer blocks just so I could have two of them side by side and they wouldn't interfere with each other. So that pressure plate will fire those two dispensers, but it won't affect the two next to it. And then we can just use different kinds of rail up the back there so they won't connect with each other. But I'll show you how to build it really quickly, just in case you're interested. So we've got our dispenser in the floor there with the pressure plate on top. And then we'll put two dispensers each side of that. And then what we do is just come underneath here and we'll put a block right there with a repeater coming away from that dispenser. That repeater runs into a block with a torch on it, and we'll put 3 blocks right here. And this is where you put your rail on top, and now we just need an observer facing at that rail on each side. Boom. And then a block behind the observers. And we will put a block right there to sit our chest on, and one last dispenser right there. Easy enough. And here I was thinking we had lots of time in this episode to do all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I've done a bit of editing and we are running pretty low on time, so we better get back to the Japanese area. So I actually had a lot more planned for this episode. We've got this little island right there. I was going to try and terraform that into a little park or something like that, but we're not going to have the time, so instead we're just going to focus on our terraced rice field, and I've finally fixed up the contours in the land, so I think we are ready to begin. And that's where we're going to leave it for today, guys. We'll try a little time lapse of me building the rice fields. I've never built them like this before, so I've got no idea what it's going to look like, so hopefully it is not terrible. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm Cortezerino. I'll see you later.